Servus Männer, it's Red Pill Germany again. Why don't you take a little walk with me through this wonderful autumn-colored forest in Germany while I rant and talk a little bit about the current political situation in my beautiful country. So, the question that I want to tackle today is, will the current coalition and especially the CDU-CSU union, the union of these two sister parties, that forms basically the center-right, nominally the center-right in Germany, will they survive for much longer? Can they stay in power? They are currently ruling in a coalition in Berlin, the Social Democrats and the center-right Angela Merkel, Friedrich Merz union. And the strain on this coalition is enormous. Even though they ruled before, we call it the große Koalition, the grand coalition, the big coalition, because they are the two, formally, the two large parties that we had in the Federal Republic of Germany. And Angela Merkel, for example, she had a grand coalition with the SPD already. But now we are in a much different situation. So first of all, I want to go over the problems or the strain that is on this coalition. That is, of course, that now, after all these air tax reforms, the carbon tax, and also a lot of new legislation, which I covered in previous videos concerning heating, how you can heat your apartment and or your house, and also energy from Russia. Of course, we don't get cheap pipeline gas any longer, and we have to import very, very expensive LNG gas on diesel transport vessels over the Atlantic that comes from fracking in the United States, for example. All that makes energy very, very expensive in Germany, and that is why energy-intensive industries, they close down or move production abroad. So a lot of jobs are lost right now in Germany. The economy is in a deep recession for a long time already, and there is no hope that it's getting better anytime soon. In addition, we have, of course, as you know, lots of extremely violent atrocities being committed on the streets of Germany against indigenous Germans every day. And people are starting to notice. Sooner or later, everyone has a family member that was directly affected by this, and Germans are just beginning to get really pissed, believe it or not. Of course, the propaganda apparatus is total in Germany, and it is very efficient. There is almost no publicized opinion in Germany that is speaking the truth. There are rare exceptions. This is why they want to control the internet. This is why they want to control and deplatform alternative media or independent channels like mine here that speak the truth. Public broadcasting and also the big corporate media, they are running interference for our globalist government, for the people that want to kill all Germans or all European people, basically. And they lie about all these atrocities. They act as if that doesn't matter or it doesn't happen, but we all know it happens every day. And that is why Germans are pissed. So there are a multiple of reasons, but these are there are many reasons, but this is basically the most important ones in my point of view. And that is why right now we are in a situation where the AfD, but also communist forces in Germany, so the right and the left, they're both gaining in the polls and winning in regional or state elections. And as always, there is this mechanism where the party soldiers, so to speak, in these larger parties, especially in the CDU, they start to rebel. And we see that in the East already. What does that mean? Let me explain. So, in order to rule or in order to even get into parliament, you need to be popular with the people, of course. Popular at the moment, especially in central Germany, in the east of our republic, is the AfD and what they're offering and what they're saying. The CDU is not allowed to say these things because of something that is self-imposed. They call it Brandmauer, the firewall, or the cordon sanitaire, as it is sometimes called. That is the agreement or the decision not to work together in any shape or form with the AfD, and of course not to say what the AfD is saying also. That goes so far that if in a city you have to make a decision about whether or not you build a street or you modernize a sewage plant or whatever, some local decision, you are not allowed to vote together with the AfD. If the AfD is in favor of it, you must vote against it. This is how ridiculous it is, even though it is just about fixing potholes. Yeah, this is how far this goes, and that is of course insane because the voters of the CDU, to a large degree, they want what the AfD says. So when you force the CDU to be contrarian or to be against the AfD all the time, that means that the voters of the CDU don't get what they actually want. But the AfD is offering what they actually want. So they vote for the AfD instead. It's not rocket science, okay? It's very simple, very easy to understand. And this is what's happening in the East. And this is why in Sachsen-Anhalt, for example, east of Hesse, this is where the AfD has now 40% in the polls. 40%. And in Brandenburg, and Saxony, Thuringia, and Mecklenburg-Vorpommern, it is not much different. Yeah? They are dominating the East right now. And the CDU politicians are getting scared and they might rebel. So some of them voiced now dissent in their party. They said that they want to do away with this Brandmauer insanity. And yeah, the party even had a meeting and not too long ago, and the chancellor Friedrich Merz, he already said before that meeting that was about how to deal with the AfD that the CDU is different from the AfD and we're absolutely unlike them and there is no way that we will work together with them, etc. So this is not going to happen. So what might happen is that the CDU will break apart. That just like in Bavaria, there is a CSU, this is the union, the two sister parties. It might be that in Eastern Germany, I should say Central Germany, it is not East Germany, it is Central Germany, that there will be a different kind of CDU. Maybe they will be part of that union then or not, I don't know. But they might actually break apart. There might be a schism in the center-right party in Germany very soon. This is at least how it looks like right now. But, these center-right people, I think you know them, they're all professional politicians, right? They want to make money, everything they say is streamlined, and they have a lot of people that coach them on these things. And I don't think, let's just say for people like that, the threshold is very high. Yeah, they have to be really desperate in order to do something like that, because they want to make money, they want to have a career in politics, so they don't want that. They want to stay in the CDU, of course. But what does that help? Or how far do you get when you know that come the next election you will lose your mandate? You will not be in parliament any longer. So that is the situation right now. And Mr. Merz also, I like to add that towards the end, he is performing quite a pathetic little dance right now. So every now and then he has to basically pay some lip service to the general sentiment, or he has to placate the people in voters of the CDU that are not satisfied with current immigration policies and the fact that people who have 20 or 40 prior offenses are still allowed to walk around freely, and that basically happens until they commit a really, really disturbing crime that takes someone's life or something. And then you read that in the news, people are fed up, just like I said initially, right? So every now and then Mr. Merz has to say something in order to make sure that the people believe that he sees the problem and he also doesn't like that. So what did he say? He said something along the lines that, the cityscape, das Stadtbild, or the way the city looks like, or the impression you get when you walk through an inner city in Germany, that changed and it's not good anymore, or it's not good, I don't know. Of course, people from the left, from the establishment media, they called him a racist then, and because of course he means foreigners who have a different skin color, blah, 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 which of course is true. But then it took him over a week, I think, to specify what he actually meant by that, because now there was even a big demonstration against what Merz said, and that he is basically like the AfD. But maybe this is all some theater of the establishment in order to make the normies believe that Merz is somehow a right-wing person or something, or is aligned with the right somehow, which he is of course not. His party let all these people in, and his party refuses to kick them out. So yeah, he's not on the right whatsoever. But now they're acting as if he is the reincarnation of an Austrian painter. So first he tried to answer the question what he actually meant by that by saying, well, you should ask your daughter. Well, then some very liberal young German ladies said that we don't see any problem with the way the city looks like. What do you mean? And then 1 week after what he said approximately, he finally said that, Germany needs migration, and especially because of our industry, and we don't have enough people in the workforce. We need migration, yes, but there are people who are not legally here, and they don't work, and they loiter around in the cities committing crimes, and these people are the problem. Well, people still call him a racist after that anyway, but now he kind of probably after some team of coaches told him exactly what to say. He said that, but nothing happens, of course. Yeah, he says these things, but what does that mean? That doesn't mean that he's starting to close the borders like he promised, and it doesn't mean that he's starting to deport people like he promised. Nothing along those lines. He just said something, and then people are demonstrating and protesting and arguing about the words he used. See, in Germany, it's never about the thing. It's never about measures. It's never about policies. It's always about, what words did he use? Did he discriminate against someone? Was that insensitive towards some marginalized group, etc.? It's never about when will we finally round them up and kick them out and send them back to where they came from. It's never about that. You only get that with the AfD, I guess, and this is why the AfD is so popular right now. And even in the West, even in the West, they are cracking 20%. So the AfD is now on the federal level the most popular party in the polls. And in a couple of months we have state elections again. Let's see how much success of the AfD the current establishment in Berlin can take before this coalition also falls apart, and maybe even the CDU falls apart. Or, well, as I described, I could imagine that in central Germany a certain faction of the CDU could split, or maybe some politicians locally just jump ship and they change and become AfD members instead. That is what I have to say right now. maybe more detailed analysis in the near future. Enjoy the rest of your day. Servus, Kameraden.